Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I am back and I'm here to talk about you know what. So we're going to be looking at who are the real fans. Is it the fans who hate The Last Jedi or the ones who liked it? Very interesting article I found here. It's from Dork Side of the Force and it's by Neil Harrington, who I just had a quick look at his Twitter, and former member of the armed services. So, respect for that. And I'm going to keep this pretty respectful, this video. So he writes for Dork Side of the Force. And the title of his article is Star Wars fans who like Star Wars The Last Jedi aren't real fans, ? It says, those who enjoyed Star Wars The Last Jedi accused of not being real Star Wars fans. I don't think it's that. I think part of it is the fans who are just calling for dumb stuff, like the Lando Han relationship and all that shipping stuff. What type of fans are those who are calling for that type of stuff? I don't really understand that. It's weird, and I wouldn't say someone who just who didn't like The Last Jedi or did like The Last Jedi isn't a fan of Star Wars. Even though I might have said that in the past. I just think that the stuff that's going on now with all these, like I said, ships and all that type of crap, I don't see how a genuine Star Wars fan could really think that. I don't understand that. If you can explain it to me, I'm willing to listen. The backlash continues from Star Wars The Last Jedi, with fans of a galaxy far, far away drifting further and further apart as each day passes. Instead of using these differences to build a solid foundation of fandom, a sect of fandom is destroying all George Lucas built. Seriously? You're thinking the people that criticise The Last Jedi are destroying what George Lucas built? I think it's the opposite. I think they're trying to restore what George Lucas built. And people in the current leadership of Star Wars, they're the ones, I think, who are trying to destroy it. Maybe not destroy it. They're trying to change it. And I think a lot of fans are unhappy about that. Star Wars is meant to be an avenue of escapism, fun, adventure, fantasy. Instead, it's turned grown men into whining little babies. Seriously? I mean... no. Seriously. So, you can't criticise it? Is that what you're saying, or what? It's like you're insulting and you're saying, oh, we want to bring everyone together, but then you're insulting people who dislike the film by calling them whining little babies. How's that supposed to help? More than that, a substantial amount of verbal abuse continues to spew from the mouths or keyboards of fans towards Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy especially. Well, who else are you supposed to direct it to? Kennedy's in charge, and Johnson was the director. I mean, who else are we supposed to blame? Tell me who we should direct the blame to for creating The Last Jedi. Is it George Lucas? I don't think so. It's like, well... So you're just supposed to not criticise it. Is that what you're saying? You can't criticise it? You have to criticise it the way you want them to criticise it, but no other way? It's just... I'm trying to be respectful here. This sort of behaviour is unacceptable and needs to stop. Enough is enough. I mean, who are you to judge whether it's acceptable or not, the behaviour? Who are you to do that? It's like, that's really insulting. That is insulting. To people who didn't like the movie, you're saying, okay, you can't criticise it unless I approve of your type of criticism. And they need to stop. I mean, who are you to tell them what to do? Who? Free speech, isn't that a big thing in the US? Our friend Alex Damon from Star Wars Explained says it best in a recent tweet on what's acceptable behaviour and what's not. So this guy's now the arbiter of what's acceptable. Star Wars Explained, this is his tweet. What I understand, not being excited about an upcoming Star Wars project. What I don't understand, being furious about that Star Wars project I know almost nothing about, that no one is going to force me to experience anyway. That's the end of the tweet. I'm not one that's saying, I've never said that I'm boycotting or anything like that. I've never said that. So don't try and lump everyone into that same group. Right? I've never said I'm boycotting anything. I've always said I'm going to watch it, I'm going to judge it on what I see. That's what I've always said. Right? Let's not get things confused here. And I have seen a couple of that Star Wars Explained videos. But, I mean, I'm not subscribed to him or anything. Go check him out if you want. But just his style of videos isn't really my type of video that I want to watch. I prefer people like Star Wars Theory, people like that, Stupendous Wave. Don't think that guy gets enough credit. Honestly, that's been the approach from the angry mob of Star Wars fans who are unhappy with the current direction of the Lucasfilm team. Well, you've just heard from one right here who says that's not the case. Because I've never said that. People have said to me lots of times, why are you going to keep seeing it? You should be boycotting it. People have said that lots of times. And if they want to boycott it, they can. I have no problem with people boycotting Star Wars if they want. If they're not happy with the direction it's going, they're within their rights to boycott it. It's all good. I'm not. So it just proves your argument wrong there, doesn't it? Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he's not boycotting. So what point are you making there? I don't understand that. Can you explain that a bit further? Are you talking about some people who dislike the film are doing that? And if they are, what's wrong with them doing that? Aren't they allowed to do that? From observing social media, angry YouTube warriors, that's not me, and the comment sections of a variety of venues, a substantial amount of people are not giving the new content a fighting chance, making up their minds before they even see it. Again, that's not me. I've said lots of times, I'm not doing that. I always say I judge it on what I see. Right? So, that just proves that point wrong. If that's your fancy, so be it. But the hatred spread throughout the galaxy should not be tolerated. What? So people can't hate it now? What? Fans who feel like the direction of Star Wars has gone completely off the rails can't criticise it. What are you talking about? Who are you to tell them that they can't criticise it? What is this, some type of totalitarian regime we're under now where you can't criticise it? And will not be tolerated by who? Who's it not going to be tolerated by? People are criticising it because they want it to be better than what they're putting out. That's the only reason they're criticising it. They're not criticising it because they want to hurt it. They're criticising because they want to make it better. That's it. One YouTuber even stated that Kathleen Kennedy, quote, earned that hate, end quote. Jeremy, is that you? Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, was that you? I think that might have been you. Stirring up that shit. I don't know. Might have been you, I don't know. If it was... by hate, he means all of the complaints and criticism spewed by the current direction of the franchise. Really? Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson have both earned all of this hate? Question mark. But like I said before, who are you supposed to criticise if you don't like the film? If you don't like the direction Star Wars is going, who's in charge? Kathleen Kennedy. Who directed the film? Ryan Johnson. Who's got more films coming? Ryan Johnson. Right? Another trilogy. I think people have a right to criticise them. What is wrong with that? George Lucas copped a hell of a lot of criticism for the prequels, right? So now these people should be free of criticism? Are you serious? Peter Jackson, for the Hobbit movies, copped a lot of criticism. From me. And lots of other people. Right? So why should these people be absolved from criticism? Why? Because it's a franchise you like? Or the fans who like the film? Well, we can't criticise. It just doesn't make any sense what you're saying here. So I'll just go over that again. It says, really? Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson have both earned all this hate. Give me a break. No, they have not. Honestly, this approach is flat out offensive. It's offensive what? What? Some of it's gone over the top. I agree with that. Some of it has gone over the top, talking about like physical violence and all that type of crap. And I've said before, if you're thinking about that type of stupid stuff, you're a fucking idiot, right? You're a fucking idiot. And you shouldn't even be thinking about that or doing something like that because it's ridiculous, okay? I've said that in other videos. I'm not supporting that. I'm talking about if you hate a film or you don't like the direction the company's going or the director took it, there is nothing wrong with criticising them, right? Nothing wrong with it. Especially if you spent your whole life following Star Wars, you're a big fan of Star Wars, and they take it in a different direction, you're like, what's going on? Why wouldn't you criticise them for it? I've lost my spot. It's not offensive. If you don't like the direction of the franchise, then don't watch it. So people who spent their whole lives involved in Star Wars are supposed to just stop. Right? Is that what you're saying? Just stop, don't go any further. We're just going to move in a different direction, get on board or get the F out. Right? People who spent thousands of dollars on Star Wars merchandise, all that type of stuff. Toys, everything. To just say, okay, we're going somewhere else, deal with it. Seriously? Or move on to some other source of entertainment that you enjoy. So that's what he's saying, just move on. If you don't like the direction, move on. The irony of that is that a lot of people have. A lot of people have. Because of The Last Jedi. I don't understand creating YouTube channels, message boards or websites with the sole purpose of expressing hatred. Well, I created my YouTube channel ages ago, before all this happened, right? But I think people needed a voice to speak up for them, because a lot of people weren't doing it, weren't being honest about it. So if I had to do it, I had to do it. Um, Expressing your concerns and criticism is one thing, but creating a community with a quote, what I don't like, end quote, MO is a sad look and unhealthy for the entire fan base. Seriously? I think, do you actually think, well, do you actually think, well, why are those channels getting lots of views? They're not getting views because people don't agree with them. They're getting views because people agree with them. Right? Go check out the views that like world-class bullshitters gets. Right? Check out their videos. Check out Geeks and Gamers. Getting tons of views because people are pissed the hell off about the direction. And if you like it, it's all good. Like, I'm not criticising you for liking it. You can like it all you want. But don't criticise people who dislike it and saying, oh, they can't be critical of it. Maybe the fan base needs a shake-up. Maybe the fan base needs a shake-up and stop eating shit that Disney and Lucasfilm are serving up. Right? Be more critical. What's wrong with that? The fan base should be critical. Don't just eat it up. They're serving it up, then they eat it. No. Not anymore. What also gets my midichlorians boiling is others I've engaged with, even within our own comment section, who go as far as to say that those who enjoyed the latest addition to the galaxy far, far away, like myself, are not real fans. Really? Question mark. Since when did all you become the police of who is allowed to be fans and who is not? Question mark. Well, you're talking about people policing others' opinions. Weren't you just saying that before? Saying that, oh, it has to stop, it's enough. So you're telling them to listen to you, but people who are saying, oh, I don't think you're a real fan if you like this, they can't have their view, they can't speak. That's their opinion, right? That's their opinion. I've had intellectual discussions with those who do not like the current movies, and that's fine. I still consider those people to be real fans, even though we disagree on some items. Believe it or not, I'm still a Star Wars fan for liking Star Wars. I have no qualms with those who dislike Star Wars The Last Jedi, but I don't understand the approach of rallying around to bash those who both created it and enjoy it. I don't bash the people that like it, do I? I don't know, I can't even remember. I definitely get stuck into people who created it and Kathleen Kennedy because they created it. Kathleen Kennedy is leading it. I don't think they're putting out Star Wars level quality. I don't think they're doing it. There's people criticise the story elements of The Last Jedi a lot. It's not just with racists or sexists or anything like that. Like I've said, I'm half Asian, so this whole thing about, all like white people were pissed off, it's like... We need to do better as Star Wars fans. Parentheses. Yes, we are all fans even though we disagree. As a humanity in general. I believe we will make great strides towards this goal if we discuss this issue in a civil manner and listen to one another, making progress towards a common ground of peace, inclusion and reconciliation. I don't think reconciliation is really on the cards at the moment because there's been no changes to suggest there's going to be a change of direction. If you're just going to follow the same direction that people are pissed off about, how do you expect reconciliation? There needs to be a sense of giving on both sides, right? There needs to be a sense of appeasement. But with this, it's like Johnson getting 3 more films, that's not going to help. Okay, people are just going to be just as pissed off about that as they were about The Last Jedi. And then you've got episode 9, which is like, I mean, lots of people just don't care anymore. Lots of people. Go read through the comments on World Class Bullshit's videos, or Jeremy's videos at Geeks and Gamers. My videos. The storm is coming. But that's his opinion. Neil Harrington from Dork Side of the Force. Okay. Trying to be more respectful than I would usually. So, that's his opinion. I disagree with him. I think people should be free to criticise The Last Jedi as much as they want. And Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. As long as you don't, like I said, no threats of violence or anything like that, or wishing harm upon them. But if you're just criticising the work and maybe business decisions, that's all good. I don't have any problem with that. Right? And just telling people it's enough and to stop it. Oh no. They're not kids. They're not your kids. If you have kids, I don't know, but they're not. So it's just really disrespectful, I thought. But that's just my opinion. Who am I? I'm just a bum on the internet. Are you having a good day? Catch you later.